Hello underachievers, if you live in the UK right now or in Dublin and you're free on any of these dates, you should come see me on tour because it'll be fun and tickets are cheap, and also you can come and do a big old gay transgender yell with me because things aren't great at the moment, so we may as well yell about it in a room of other transgenders. So allies, we absolutely love allies on this channel. Love a good ally, would never complain about an ally being an ally and doing ally type things. Ally. And you know what? They're not always gonna get things right. Sometimes they're gonna get things very wrong, and that's okay. And sometimes they're also not gonna quite get things right, but they're also not gonna quite get things wrong. There's this weird in-between that I tend to find funny. The amount of times that I've been told by an ally, thank you for that. Oh yeah, I have a trans friend. His name used to be Amy, but now he's called Arnold. I appreciate the sentiment. You are here to let me know that you support me and other trans people. I've also heard the classic, oh my god, like I would never have known that you were a girl, that you were born a female girl. I didn't know you had a before people get upset about this video is not here to bully allies. It's not here to dissuade them from their good work. It's just that, you know, I am transgender, and I feel like I am entitled to laugh at these situations. I think I should be able to do that. My hair is not being an ally right now. So I was scrolling on Twitter, or X, by the way, is not an ally, and I found this. What we have here are gender-affirming cuts. We have a short cut for $55. I don't know what that is in British, maybe £40. That's fair. Is it fair? I don't know, but long agenda, if you're a trans man or a trans mask or a non-binary or something else, that, you know, you could get a shortcut for $55. That seems quite steep. Is it more expensive to be gender affirmed in your haircut? Is that why they're in their own section? And I know what you're thinking. What if you are a trans guy and your most affirming gender haircut is a mullet? A long mullet. Well then what? Maybe you would go for the longer gender affirming cut. Maybe you would go for the long gender. New gender just dropped. Long gender. Longer gender. So there's a steep price hump. A steep price hill for the longer gender affirming cut. Because that's $95. What is that in British? £80. Longer gender affirming haircuts to blend out overgrowth and establish a hairstyle for the growing femme. Now I like this. I'm enjoying this. I think I get it. I appreciate this. Is this wrong? Is this one of those cases where the allies have got it wrong? I don't think so. I wouldn't say it's necessarily right though. Although I do feel like if I was a transgender, a young one, am I 24?
Well, yes.
Is 24 young?
Well, sort of, kind of.
If I was a young transgender and I went into the services, I would think, oh, this is very nice. This is very nice. This service provider for the haircuts, the long gender haircuts, they're thinking of me. They're thinking about me. Are they overcharging me perhaps? That's where I'm not sure about this. Young transgenders in the comments, if you went to a hairdresser and you saw this, would you feel good? Would you feel good about this? Would you think, oh, they're here for me? This is for me? Or would you think, a little suspicious? Because I don't know. I may be too cynical. And the reason why this is not the right thing or the wrong thing is just because I cannot read this without thinking long gender. Just long gender being its gender on its own. Somebody said gender affirming prices too. So yeah, maybe they're overcharging the transgenders because we will pay it, alright? If someone's slightly nice to us, we will pay it. And Bunny Boy here made a good point saying, what if I'm trans mask and I don't want a buzz cut? Which, to be fair, very valid. I did never want a buzz cut. I did never want that. I will never want that. I'm mostly just like, I love the idea of a gender affirming haircut. I love it. But for some reason, I just can't help but cringe at the phrase gender affirming haircut. And I think it is because I get questions a lot of the time being like, when was your first gender affirming haircut? I've also been asked what my most gender affirming outfit is and how I affirm my gender. And this is just not language that I'm familiar with. Because to me, my hair is just my hair. Is that very non-binary of me? Am I particularly non-binary right now? But yeah, I get it. There's nothing wrong with the phrasing. I just think. I know I ended on I just think, but I don't know what I just thought. And to save myself from looking like a I will answer the question, what was your first gender-affirming haircut? My first gender-affirming haircut was when I was 6 or 7 years old, and I went to my mum, hey, can I have a boy haircut, please, for boys? And she said, yeah, sure. I got you. Do you think she got me? Because I felt got. And I know you're thinking, Noah, it's no big deal, like it's just one bad haircut, happens to everyone. No, this was consistent behavior from my mother. She just decided to cut off my fringe. Here's the same haircut 2 years later. When I was 9 years old. And then I inevitably went through that phase where, you know, you get bullied for looking like a boy when you're a girl, and people are like, you know, it's not cool to be a tomboy anymore. So I grew out my hair, and I didn't enjoy it, and then I finally gave up and was like, you know what, screw that, I hate having long hair, I don't want to look like a girl, so I got a gender-affirming haircut again. My second gender-affirming haircut was this. I did not affirm my gender. It felt better. It felt better than this. But it was not gender-affirming, and I know you're maybe watching this video looking at me being like, ooh, That haircut that you have right now is not gender affirming. I agree. The only thing that my hair is affirming right now is the fact that I haven't had time to have a haircut. But yeah, again, no hate to this gender affirming hair therapist. I appreciate that you're trying. It's very good. You haven't done a bad thing. I just think you should make long gender happen. I think if you're gonna commit to it, you should do it. I of course asked you guys if you had any other things similar to this that were kind of like, oh, thank you for the allyship. Thank you for that, but maybe a little bit less.
She's not even gay. The ally that you're like, pull back.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Put the spear down.
And you came through. You absolutely came through. So, Talia said, had to dig up this old photo of the bottom of my uni calendar from 4 years ago. This is in reference to gender-separated sports being referred to as men's and women's with asterisks, because, you know, gender neutral is when there's no E. So, what does it say? It says, what does woman and men mean? It says, we are a safe, inclusive space that supports the LGBTQI+ community. These terms are gender neutral and include all students that identify as women, men, or non-binary. I don't know what that is. I don't know when people started adding asterisks in words to make out that it made them gender neutral, because I don't think it does. I'm sure you've seen people spell folks like folks, like F-O-L-X. I've seen it spelled F***LKs. I've seen it be spelled F***. I've seen it spelled F***. I've seen it spelled F***LX. I don't think that makes it any more gender neutral than just spelling out folks. But I appreciate the effort. I think it's a nice try. You did a good job at trying, you did. Personally not too impressed though. I don't know how many non-binary people would want to be called women and men. I'm sure there are some that wouldn't mind it, but I think as a default, just saying it's gender neutral by taking out the E, maybe not so much. Ether here says, my workplace made these weird men's and non-binary and women and non-binary toilet signs. I get where they're coming from, but I just think it's weird. Just do gender-neutral toilets or urinals and stalls. It honestly just let more transphobic jokes in my workplace. So what do we have here? So here we have a sign for the men's bathrooms, but it's not it's the men's bathroom, right? I know this is a different place, but maybe it'll catch. No. We have a sign of a man and a man and a half man and woman, a demi-boy, demi-girl, a whole person. A pizza slice down the middle, double man, woman. And on the other side, we have the wombs with the wombs best room. Wow. Do you see my lips not working? We have the wombs and woman. The woman and womb are half double man, double princess. And I get this. I understand there's an effort. I appreciate the effort. I'm sure some people, some wombs and wombs, may feel, oh, this is nice. Thank you for me. Toilet for me? Maybe they'll think that. But yeah, I feel like we could just add gender neutral toilets everywhere. I feel like we could just do that and it would probably solve a lot of problems. And also maybe gender neutral sports teams instead of wombs and wombs. You know? Well, anyway, I hope this video affirmed your gender. Have a good day or don't. See me on tour. Or don't, but do. Have a good day or don't. See you later, losers. Goodbye. Until quite... ignore that. I'm trying... Can you tell I'm burnt out? If I was a young transgender... Oh, wow. If I... I was thinking of the... When I was a young warthog.